Is the move here?
What you want?
Okay, right, here we go.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen. I've got to warn you all. You lot, and we lot, might have to do this all over again in 10 years' time. That'll be the day, won't it? First of all, I've got to thank everybody for coming. Secondly, I've got to thank those people who organised this glorious meal. Dear old Steve. And Anna for that most gorgeous cheesecake. Right, now we can get down to the real stuff. Why are we here? Because Joan and I met each other 70 years ago, a bit more than 70 years ago. And we were very young, of course. I mean, to do 70 years, you've got to have started in early 1940, and you've got to only be about 18 or 19 or so in 1940, and we were very young. And then also you've got to get permission from your parents, you did in those days, which we managed to get eventually, because they thought if there was a war on and then a war, both in the Air Force, then I suppose they can get married. So we got permission. Then, of course, you've got to survive the war. And that's something else. And then, of course, you've got to stay alive, both of you, until you're in the 90s. So there you are. It's a very important date for us all. And we're terribly lucky to have all you lot here to help us do it. As far you've all heard my stories before about when I met Joni, about winning a pint of beer to get her to dance with me, and so forth. You've all heard that story, so I won't repeat it. It's not necessary, really. Except that there she was, sitting in the corner, and I'd never seen such a beautiful girl in all my life. And my standards were pretty high, because I was already in love with Ginger Rogers. So my standards were pretty high. And she was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. And I must tell you also, when we were about 40, an aged aunt of mine came to stay with us, and she looked at Jane and said, "Oh, what a terrible shame, what an awful pity it is that such beauty will fade." And it hasn't. I'm not allowed to sing, so I can't do the next bit.
Oh, please do.
Well, I can speak it rather than sing it. Okay? I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. I've tried so hard not to.
Well, no, don't go on. No.
Well, I've got you under my skin. I've got that out of the way. I've been working on that for a while. I don't think there's anything more to say except thank you all for coming. Delighted to see everybody. And Joni and I wish you all the best and a lot of love.
About what Granny Corey said about how long you married.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she wasn't. Yes, my mother-in-law, Joni's and Rita's mother, didn't give it very long.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was. In fact, not long after that, she called me a pimp. But I hasten to say, she didn't know what a pimp was. So that was all right. Attitude towards me changed gradually over the years. When I became a diplomat, and my address was British Embassy, Oslo, British Embassy, Tel Aviv, she thought perhaps I might do. So there we are. Any questions? I think some of this is on video, isn't it?
Can I just add a little extra to that? When you and Joan got married, my mother gave you 3 months.
3 months.
And
Give it 3 months.
3 months. 3 months. And you've now been married for 70 years. Well, believe it or not, it's my 62nd wedding anniversary today.
Today?
If my husband had been alive.
Good in the family.
Well, yours was on the 12th, mine was on the 14th. And she gave me 3 months as well.
Oh, you
And
gave you 3 months?
We did stick together.
Ah.
So, she was very, very wrong.
Lovely story. Lovely story. Anyway, to wind up, thank you all for coming, and thank you for all those lovely people who did such a lovely grub and looked after us all so well.
Yes.
Lovely to see you all.
Peter and Noni.
Cheers. Bless you, love. My first drink for a year.
Yeah. Sorry.